Okay. All right. I think I am live. Live in effect. Let's check it out. Yep, I'm live. All right. Let's go, people. Hey, guys. I'm like Eric B. and Rakim. It's been a long time. But I am here. I am here. So let's get this party started. So, for those of you who do not know me, my name is Jennifer J. I am the Premier VA. You can find me on all social channels as the Premier VA. Okay. And I provide marketing automation systems for business owners so they can continue to be great because for me, systems are great, but for you, systems are not so great. They're frustrating and you can't stand them. So, today, what we're going to talk about is how to leverage systems and automations in your business. And when I say leverage, I know you're like, well, what do you mean by leverage? So, leverage means to use something to its maximum advantage. And it's really funny because today we were talking about on our morning show. Shout out to Real Lessons Learned. We stream live every morning on KBC and TV, and today we were talking about knowledge and that knowledge is power. And so your knowledge can only get you so far, but you can leverage people to be able to get further because it's you that's going to show up and take that thing to the next level. So when we say leverage, we mean to use it to its maximum advantage. So I am going to tell you how to use systems to the maximum advantage in your business. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And that's what leverage means. So when I say leverage automation, so here's the scenario. Hey, Aries, most business owners are doing things manually because that's all you know. You don't know anything different than to go to your email, answer your email. If someone wants to work with you, you either give them an email or you give them an email address or you're texting them or you're DMing them back and forth because you don't know any different, right? But what would that thing look like if you said someone says, "Hey, um how can I jump on a call with you?" And you said, "Sure, let me send you my link." And you send them that link, but not just sending them the link, because we're talking about maximum advantage, right? You're putting them into a series that's going to remind them if they did not schedule to schedule. So it would look like this. Hey, Aries, how can I work with you? How can I book a call with you to learn about ASL? Sure, Jen. Here's my link to schedule a call. Okay, cool. So while I'm waiting or while I'm doing what I'm doing, whatever happens, life happens to people, right? They forget. They didn't click the link, they didn't go through the process. Well, I get a DM or a text message or whatever platform I message Aries on and says, "Hey, uh, you forgot to schedule. You asked me to book a call with you, but you forgot." And I'll be like, "Oh, shoot, Aries. Okay." But it's not really Aries sitting there texting me, it's the system. But it's so conversational that I don't know that it's not Aries sitting there texting me. It's the system. And then once I schedule, it takes me out of that. But let's just say I say, okay, I'm going to get to it. I forgot, blah, 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 blah. All right. A couple hours later, it reminds me again. And then it continues to remind me for a couple days until I schedule. That's what leverage looks like, because now it's freeing up Aries' time to handle other pressing matters. She could be teaching a class, she could be doing whatever. But over here, the system is telling me, hey, you asked me to schedule and get on my calendar, but you forgot. Here, let me remind you. That's what leverage looks like. It frees up your time. And it didn't even take the human component out of it, because one of the things that people say about leverage is, oh, well, about automation. I'm sorry, about automation. Oh, it lacks human touch. So let me just backtrack, because I always like to identify the definitions of what I use. So processes are just a series of combined steps together to achieve a goal, right? System, everybody hears this word. Systems. What are systems? Systems are a series of processes. So we just talked about processes where the steps put together, right? The system is the series of processes combined together to get the job done. So a system can be software, a system can be a manual process that you take to get to a goal. It just really depends. All right. But today we're talking about both. All right. And then automation. What is automation? Automation is something that happens, and remember, I'm sorry, if you're new to me, I use my own definitions. You will not find my definitions in the dictionary, because I simplify them so that you can understand. Okay. So, automation means something happens with little or no manual input, but it still happens, right? Okay. So, let's talk about the myths. Well, I don't like to use automation because it lacks the human touch. Okay, here's one thing I know for sure: where you start in business is not where you're going to end. And your business is going to scale and your business is going to grow. And at some point, you're going to have to identify things that you can't physically sit and do all day. So, prime example, if you want to work with me, you can DM me the word systems right now. You know that I'm sitting here live, and you can watch what happens. I am not sitting there waiting on you to DM the word systems. My system is. So my system is waiting for you to put that word in there so it can send you the message that I have written from me, a human, that says, hey, you need systems. I got systems. This is all my language. And it gives you the next steps. If you DM me and you ask me a series of questions, I'm going to answer those questions, but it's going to ultimately lead to you need to follow my process, which is you either are going to pay to start services, or if you need to have a formal call before you do that, here is the link to schedule that call. But I gave you that link. Now, at some point, you will be talking to my assistant, depending on who it is. I'll jump in. But I can't do that if I'm here live, right? And if I'm on a stage somewhere, or if I'm servicing clients, or if I'm in a meeting with clients, I can't be everywhere and you can't be everywhere. And at some point, you're going to burn out if you think that you can. You can't. And I understand some businesses are startups and they don't have the money to hire anyone. That's fine, because what a human can do, a system can do to an extent till you get what you need. But you need to protect yourself. You can't continue to operate a um in a motive of you're just moving. You're doing all of these things and you're gonna pass out. Okay. So I'm sorry, y'all. My Instagram was not pulling up like it was playing me. Good morning to everyone. Good morning, Taylor. Good morning, Kat. Good morning, Asiande. Good morning, Jill. Okay, so now people will disengage with automation. Ask any single person. I need to interview my audience. I am the prime example of how these two myths are straight lies. I get responses to my automation all the time because people think it's me sending them a message. And if you don't believe me, you can ask anybody who is on my list, anybody who has DM'd me. They think it's me because I write my messages conversationally. So if you write your messages, tip number one, write your messaging conversationally, even if you use AI. So even if you use Chat GPT, I use Chat GPT now. And what I do is I put my initial thought in there. I tell it to write me an email. And then I take that email and I put what I want to say in it. So I want you to get a specific point, but I need you to understand how I came to that or what part of me you need to understand inside of there. So it becomes conversationally. And trust me, I can show you the proof of people responding to my messages as if I'm sitting there texting them. Like I've sent, and I'll give you an example. I sent out oh, at the end of the year, I sent out an end of the year campaign. And what I do is because I know, I don't make excuses, because I know that emails go in places they're not supposed to go. They're not going to go to your primary inbox. Proof right there. They're not going to go to your primary inbox. They're going to go to uh spam, junk, trash, promotions, anywhere else but the primary inbox. I'll send a message and say, hey, like if you didn't open it, hey, did you see the emails I sent you? That's it. Nah, Jen, let me go check it. Oh, nah, Jen, I'm driving. I'm going to check it when I get home. I promise you, I'm not lying. And you got proof right here. I've responded. it it's how you do it. It's the strategic part, right? So when we talk about automation, how do we leverage it? We strategically create systems. And that's what I do. We create systems strategically and we make people respect them. What I mean by that is the prime example of if someone wants to book a call with you, I'm not going to sit and go back and forth with you on what is my calendar, what is your availability, what is my availability. Okay, here, no, I'm going to have a conversation with you, number one, to figure out what you need, and if I am the need, I am the who for what you need, right? And if I identify that, then I'm going to give you one of two links. I'm going to give you a link to schedule a call so that you could get what you need, or I'm going to give you a link to get a product because you may not be ready. But that's the process. And just because I had to have that conversation with you, we can't get away from having conversations. You have to have conversations with people. You have to build relationships. But how that conversation looks and ends is on you, and you can use the system to do that, to leverage that. So let's get into what systems are we talking about. Okay, so we just talked about the booking system, right? So booking system is your normal, your calendars, right? Your Calendly, your Acuity, all of those things. That's your booking system. It's how you set that system up, and it's what's available to you in that software. So why did I jump from Active Campaign being my favorite system ever to using Go High Level? Because the abilities and the capabilities of Go High Level far surpass what Active Campaign had to offer. Not to mention, it's a one stop shop. One program handles all of this stuff. And it allows me to be a better business owner and make better decisions and analyze my data. So, the capability that I needed for a booking system is just what you just heard me say, which is if you want to get on a call with me, I'm going to give you a link, but that link is activating automation on the back end in my system. And what it's doing is looking. I always think of double dutch, right? So my system is doing the double dutch dance. It's waiting. It's waiting. Did you schedule? Did you schedule? Did you schedule? Did you schedule? If you didn't schedule, it's gonna send you a link after a certain time surpasses. Hey, you asked to schedule. We know time, sometimes life gets in the way. Here, go ahead and schedule now. If you don't schedule, it's gonna wait. What Cat Williams say? Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. If it does not schedule, it doesn't see that you scheduled, because on the other end of that schedule is another automation, right? So once you schedule, it takes you through a whole nother series. So they're talking to each other in the same system to say, hey, did she schedule? Nope. Did she schedule? Nope. Did she schedule? Nope. And then it's sending something else. So then it keeps sending you a reminder because it knows that you didn't schedule, right? That's a booking system. Now, when you do schedule, now you're in a whole nother system of reminders. Another of which that makes you respond, right? Calendly and Acuity can't do that. Schedule ones, all those other ones. Dubsado can't do that. And then once you respond, it's looking to see if you responded. And if you don't respond, it lets me know this person didn't respond. They may not show up. But then it's built so that it will continue to send you messaging. This is what I mean when I say strategic. So now I don't have to go back and forth with you on whether you're coming to the appointment. You have everything you need, you have the link, it's reminded you, it asked you so that you can consciously in your mind say, oh yeah, I got this appointment. Heck yes, I'm coming because I don't want to miss this. That's a booking system. Everybody needs that. Unless you're selling e-commerce, which I'm talking to service-based businesses. Everybody needs that. Whether it's for you, whether it's for your sales team, whether it's for your tech team, your onboarding team, whatever team is for, whoever is for, everyone needs that. And that helps to take time away from you. You are living your best life until that appointment shows up on your calendar. And then you say, okay, these are the appointments I have today. That's how I show up. So when people are hitting me up and saying, hey, do you have time? Nope. You have to get on my calendar. My calendar is automated. So my kids and my family know, like, oh Lord, let me look at our calendar. All right, let me block it. Let me clear it so that nothing gets put on there. Prime example, my daughters scheduled a surprise party for me, flew me from Atlanta to Cleveland this weekend for my birthday. I left on Friday, I came back on Monday, but my calendar was clear. There is no way she could have done that if, number one, I wasn't consistent in running my life by my calendar. If it's not on my calendar, it didn't happen. And that's where most of you have to start. You have to start using your calendar. And I'm not talking about your iPhone calendar. If you're using your iPhone or your Android calendar, that is not scalable. You cannot scale that way. And what I mean by scale is eventually somebody else needs to take over managing that calendar. They cannot do it that way. So you either need to get a Google Calendar, G Suite, or you need to get an Outlook calendar, Outlook 365. Because those you can assign to other people, they can see it, it can integrate with systems like Go High Level, and other people can see it and manage it. Thank you, Aries. So, booking system, you need it. The next system is an intake system. Okay. So some of you have programs, you have courses, you have your business coaches. You need an intake system. One of my customers, her and her assistant were manually enrolling people. So they were like using a payment processor that's not an automated payment processor. And then every time somebody signed up, they had to rush and send them the information to get them into the program. Do you know how much time that took? And so when you hear me say certain things, it's not because I'm bossy. It's not because I get a kickback. I don't get anything from Stripe. I pay the same fees you pay. I don't get anything from PayPal. They take out the same amount they take out for you. Now, what I have not had happen in the years I've been using PayPal is my money held. That's because people don't listen to me. Y'all don't listen. But I get my money when it come through. But you have to use these things so that it frees up your time. And it frees up your time so you, as the business owner, can go out and bring more money. You'll never ever hit that six figures because you can't remove yourself. You have to remove yourself so that you can multiply it. Because as long as you're tied to it, you're capped at what you can bring in. So if I had to set up systems and run everything, I would be capped. So I'm putting an income cap on myself. And I'm sure you didn't start your business to put an income cap on yourself. So the intake system looks like this. They go to the site, they pay. They don't need to talk to you, they don't need to call you, they don't need to text you. It's there. Go to the site, pay, enrollment starts. Here is your information. These are the next steps to get started. You need to click here, do this, log in here, do this, go here, whatever that case may be. Register here, put this on your calendar, whatever the next steps are for the enrollment process. Then they go to, if you have a live component, the reminders for that. Instead of you having to send out the reminder saying, hey, where are you? Where you at? We live. What's going on? What's up? Hey, it's nobody on here. Send out a text, send out a blast. No, let the system work. It'll blast it at the time. Just give it a minute. We got 5 minutes. But if you know that you get anxious, if let's just say you meet with your people at 10:30, but you really want them to hop on at 10:25, then set the reminder to go out at 10:25, right? Set the reminder to go out at 10:25. But in this, you have to be strategic and you have to be consistent. If you are not strategic or consistent, systems are not going to work. You have to have processes. What is the process? And the process has to be streamlined and it has to be the same. Everybody, they could come in different levels, but they have to have a process. It can't be different because then you can't automate it. And that's where a lot of people make a big mistake. They don't understand that I need to set a streamlined process for everything so I can automate it. I ran my business by myself with automation without an assistant for 3 years before I hired somebody. And I was working a 9 to 5. So when I left the 9 to 5, the system still was doing what it needed to do. And a lot of times people think, oh my God, I need help. I need a VA. Do you need a VA or do you need a system? And I always ask them that. What do you need the VA to do? Because most likely that could be managed by the system. Then when you get to the point where you do need a VA, now you could bring in other people and they can manage what the system is spitting out. The next system you need is an email autoresponder. So that's your email marketing because you need to build a list. You need to bring in leads. And people who tell you otherwise is not telling you the truth and they're setting you up for failure because at some point referrals run out. And when those referrals run out, what do you do next? If you don't have a list of people that you can go to and send messages to and say, hey, we have a couple spots open. Who wants to, who's next? Then your business is in a world of trouble. You have to start list building, even if you don't have anything. Start collecting interested parties. That's very, very, very important. Here is something that's so important. I need you to understand. Do not send emails and text messages to people just because they physically gave you their email address or or their phone number. If they did not opt in via your system, if they did not opt in via your system, I keep saying this because it's important. If they did not go on a form and put in their information and say, yes, I am interested in your information, please send me information. Do not send them an email. Do not send them a text. Now, what you can do is you can send them an email to say, hey, I have this list. Would you like to subscribe to my list? This is what you're going to get. This is how often I'm going to send you information. If they respond, good. And you want to include a link for them to click and fill the form out. The form could just say first name, email. Even though you have it, you need that form filled out. And if you're using a system like Go High Level, you can prove that they filled that out because it tracks everything you touch. So for those of you who are spying on me and clicking on my links and stuff, I see you because Go High Level is a snitch. So I see you. Get out my systems, okay? Go High Level is a snitch. I'm telling y'all. So, um, this is a fine of $40,000 per occurrence. It used to be 20,000. So for every single email you send that person that they didn't opt into, it's a $40,000 fine. I don't think anybody really understands that. So if you get reported that you're sending messages to somebody who didn't opt in and you can't prove that they opted in. Because listen, I just told y'all Go High Level is a snitch. So when you send messages that say, I didn't opt into this. Yes, you did, because it say right there that you clicked and you opted in to this form right here at this time, and you put your information in, and that's how you got into this. So proof, you gotta have proof, okay? Um, it's a fine. And please stop doing that because it's illegal. I don't care who's telling you to do it. I don't care who you see do it. It's illegal. If they did not fill out a form on you in your system, you are not allowed to just add them in and start blasting them with marketing messages. All right, off my soapbox. Okay, so we're talking about leveraging automation in your business. And we talked about the systems you need. So we talked about the email, the intake system, we talked about the booking system, and we talked about the email auto response. So the email auto response is your email marketing. And with your email marketing, you want to market and nurture, but you want to provide content that is valuable that can help somebody. So around Black Friday, I sent out an email and I said, hey, listen, don't get caught up in trying to put an offer out there that, number one, you don't even know if anybody wants, because everybody's talking about, oh, you got to have a Black Friday, blah, 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 blah. No, take this time to build your list. This is how you do it. You set up, you can, if you don't have money, you can set up a system with MailerLite. It's free. Set up a form and a little page, tell them what you're offering and what you're going to be sending them as far as emails. And there's no excuse now because you have all this AI that writes the emails for you. So, no excuse. All you got to do is put that thing in there and it's spitting out this information. And you can copy and paste it and send it to your audience if you want it. Fix it, make sure it's valuable and not salesy, because no one wants to get sold to all the time. And I recognize some of my audience, they don't have the money to work with me. So let me help you get started in business, because there were not a lot of people to help and give this information. The information I'm giving to you, there wasn't anybody giving this information out for free. They all wanted a paycheck. I understand. I had to feed my family too. But we all got to get started somewhere. Because one thing I know for sure, you're going to need me no matter where you are in business. So, and some of my clients been in business for over 10 years, and I still have to organize, streamline, and systematize the back end because they only know what they know, right? Now, why do you want to do this? Because you will get overwhelmed. You will get overwhelmed, you will get overlooked, and you have to continue to market your business. There's no way that you can continue to strive without marketing your business, and you need systems to do that. You need somewhere to send people. You don't want to tell people to Cash App, Zelle, and Venmo me. Can you? Yes. But guess what you can't do? You can't now send them a review request. You can't now send them a follow up nurture series into another offer because they Venmo'd you. Venmo don't attach to systems. Only Stripe and PayPal attaches to automated systems, and Square does to some of them. And now Authorize.net will let you attach to your bank in some systems, but the automations are limited. So like I get a lot of people coming to me like, I want this happen and this happen. Okay, well you need to set this is. Oh, I don't want to use Stripe. Oh, well then you don't want to work with me because there is nothing I can do for you. I can, and then you're limiting my ability and you're limiting my strategy. Paying fees is the cost of doing business. You just need to increase your prices to include those fees if that's an issue for you. Just that simple. Don't complain about the fees. Just increase your prices to include the fees. If you know that the fee is 3.9%, add that on to the cost of your product or your service. Then the fee is absorbed, you get what you wanted, and everything is good. It's cost of doing business. Are you a business owner or are you a hustler? It's a difference. Okay. Um Now, the other thing that's very important about leveraging systems, and as I wrap up, is we need to ensure that our messaging is attracting who we need it to attract. So, messaging is so very, very important, and you need to know who you're talking to. If you do not know who you're talking to, your message is going to get missed, and you may have an amazing offer, but no one will understand what that offer is. So, um I have an avatar checklist, not checklist, workbook that's free. I don't have the link. It's in my bio. But what I do want to say is I was doing a workshop. I'm trying to find it in my notes and my computer going crazy. Um I was doing a power offer, right? With okay, I was doing a power offer in one of the communities I'm in. And so in this offer, you tell people, you talk to the people who you're talking to, and then you tell them what you have, you tell them the guarantee and the benefit. And so mine was service-based business owners. What if I offered to help you streamline, organize, and automate your systems and market your business for you in the next 14 days? That automatically onboards your clients on autopilot and gives you 40% of your time back without you having to manually respond to emails. Would you take me up on that offer? Here is the thing, I loaded that thing with the problems of my ideal client. My ideal client is a busy entrepreneur who don't have time for systems. They need them, but they don't have time to learn them. They don't have time to set them up, and they don't have time to worry about writing emails and doing all the things that you have to do to manage the system. This statement speaks directly to them. And I put it out there, and I've proven that it does. And so when somebody's like, "No, you need to rephrase that." No, you don't understand it because it's not for you. It's written to attract a certain type of person that I've identified by working with them. I've identified they don't have time to set these systems up, they don't have time to manage them, and they don't have time to write emails and all of that stuff. I didn't know that at first. I thought that here, okay, I built out all the automations in here and here. It's here. This is how you use it. Watch the videos. They're not doing that. They're not watching videos. I could tell you where the videos are 50 million times. Not going to watch them. I don't have time to watch videos. Can you just do it for me? Is always the question. I wasn't ready to do it for them. So I had to go and figure that out. But now I'm ready to do it for them. Oh, okay. This is what this will look like. We have two plans. We have a managed service plan where we'll just set the system up and manage the system for you. Don't get this confused with a virtual assistant because we're only going to manage the system messages. anything that you need, we're going to, anything that somebody sends that has nothing to do with this system, we're sending to you and you still have to handle that or have somebody else handle it. Then there's the marketing piece. No, no, I don't know how to market. I don't, can you do that? Mm-mm. Well, I partner with a marketing company. So now we offer the managed system plus marketing. So now we have it all, except for virtual assistants. I don't want to manage virtual assistants. I don't need to. You can get a virtual assistant, we'll train them, and here you go. So I'm clear on what I need and what I want and what I want to offer and what I don't want to do. And that's what some of you need to do before you even think about, okay, I want to get into, I need systems. All right, what are you offering? What are we setting up? What is the transformation you're going to provide? My transformation is number one, I'm going to increase your income by 3 times. It's proven. I have case studies. I'm going to give you back 40% of your time. Giving you back that time allows you to go out and create more money and more opportunities. But you can't do that if you're tied behind your system and worrying about what's coming through there, what's not coming through there, what you're missing, and all of that. And also, you're going to miss out on opportunities because you don't have an organized system. All right. I am done. That is it for today. If you guys are interested in if you are interested in getting systems set up in your business and having us manage them for you, go ahead and click the link in my bio and get started. Other than that, I don't see any questions. Let me check my channels. Check the channels. What's up, Kanan? Um, all right. I don't see any questions. So I am going to bounce. But I will be back next Wednesday. Same time, same bad channel. All right. Talk to you guys later. Mm-mm.